year 2000, and we're just now into take a new step on the market and selling values-based consultancy on in the market of climate change, mostly.
How long have you been involved in clean tech and climate change?
Well, I've been in touch with the field of environmental issues in 30 years. And I've been working in government office, I've been working in NGOs, I've been working in business. I have all the different type of perspective you can think about in this field. And now I'm mostly connected to the company Respect I'm doing work with in the market. So if we take, if you can see the first slide.
It's up on the. It's here. I'll go through it and you can talk to it. It's the Sweden of today.
Sweden, yeah, because I'm coming from the biggest island in Sweden, Gotland, the last week, and that's the hotspot for the political discussion and also the future discussion of the relationship between politics and business and their stakeholders. And it was 17,000 people, all the political party was there. It was a crowd, and you see, it was 300 seminars a day, so we had a big problem to attend to all of them. So, but there's a lot of high flyers, political party leaders, CEOs of different branches, which are coming back to that, which areas, because it has an impact also for the investment sector in the hot areas in Sweden just now. But so I have sort of very much of an updated situation, and I could promise you that 30% of all the discussion this political week in Almedalen in Gotland was connected to sustainable development.
Kai, what is the climate right now for investment in clean tech, not just in Sweden, but from your perspective throughout Scandinavia and Europe?
Well, if you look at Sweden, and you can see that all the political parties have investment and innovation as a priority on the agenda now, and the government is coming with a new paper in the autumn with the support of to make it easier for people to invest in the sector of low carbon economy. And I think also the opposition trying to do a more better program than that. So it is a sort of a dialogue now to how to support the growth in the industry regarding low carbon economy. It's a priority for all.
You had listed in your presentation the acceleration and growth of new clean tech enterprises in 2010, reflecting a 12% increase from 2009. How do you see that growth pattern continuing?
Well, I see this. It's different segment of the market which has an incredible growth, and it's also the involvement of the political sector. As when you look through the cities and the role of cities and green procurement policies, it will be taken into place. And you know, the procurement policies is a huge has a huge impact to make focus on different issues regarding environment. And all local government are working now to develop their tools on green procurement, and both with policies and actions. And also you can see the role of cities, where you have to develop different types of infrastructure investment and also transportation sectors, and it's a very high profile on sustainable city as a word, and within that you have all issues around infrastructure, buildings, transportation, waste, water issues, and that's what I see as the biggest growth the coming years.
Is the investment in clean tech in Sweden, Scandinavia, as prolific as it is here in the United States?
Well, I can see we have some similar tendency in both in US and Scandinavia. When you talk with organizations like the C40 and Bill Clinton and Bloomberg's activities around the climate issue and also sustainable city development, it's the same sound also in Scandinavia. And the most advanced concept regarding sustainable cities you find in Malmö and in Stockholm, where you have different types of solution regarding energy efficiency, solar and wind, solar cells and wind systems, and particularly in Sweden and Scandinavia, we have an advantage to look at systems for solve problems in cities. And for example, we look at district heating and cooling, which is the most important infrastructure investment to build a sustainable city. But if you do you have the slide over Sweden fact and figures?
Well, we're watching you rather than your slide, so I'm repeating a lot of the information that's on your slide.
Okay. So what I put up as areas where you see the most increasingly activities is connected to forest, energy and bioenergy, water and waste, transport, district heating and cooling, and the concept of sustainable cities. And the areas where you see the tendency that are stronger than other part of Sweden, you find some places up in the north of Sweden, Stockholm area, the west coast, and in Skåne in south. And the government was also putting up a new program for environmental technology, which also will help foreign investment in this sector. So they put up some money for foreign investment in the field of environmental technology.
Now, you've been very involved for a long time globally. How do you see the trend globally for the acceptance of clean tech?
Well, this is a sector which I also connect to the low carbon economy, which is the sector that has been growing most in all over the world. And when you look at the BRIC countries, when you look at the north part of Europe, when you even look at in US, you have this part of development, and that's the only sector in the industry which is growing.
And what sectors are you directly more involved in than others?
Well, I'm not in all details around the investment programs, but I have a general view and can see that in Scandinavia, we have a lot of forest, and we can solve our transportations through the forest, and to be really climate neutral in 2030, 2040 maybe. And the sources from the forest is going in different direction. One is to find the next generation of transportation fuel, and the cellulosa is and the development from the cellulosa to methanol. It's increasing investment. We had one example which I'm coming back to that. I will go into a little bit more details. It's interesting. development in some which they are looking for much more of investment. But it's also interesting because India is involved in that. But forest and raw material from the forest is interesting to look at, and cellulose development, and it's going in the direction of the textile industry and to the heating system, and also to the transportation.
And bioenergy.
Bioenergy. And you know that today Sweden uses more bioenergy than fossil fuel in the total mix of energy use. So bioenergy have passed fossil fuel. We did that 2009.
Is that a cost savings? Is that an energy savings? And does the public readily accept it?
Well, the new sales, when we look at transportation, you can see that the car sales and the environmental friendly cars, the statistics the last month was 43% of all sales of cars. And the consumer is starting to demand much more. And for example, you can see the biggest airport in Stockholm, Arlanda Airport, they only allowed environmental friendly taxi to go to the airport.
So just to wrap up, your conference last week I heard was very successful, was very well attended. What do you think were the top takeaways from the conference?
Well, I think it will, as I always have said, that the political sector has been behind, the business sector is in front, and now the politicians starting to catching up. And to understand that it is growth within sustainable development, and then maybe it will change also the incentives from the government to support this development, because when we look at the target that Sweden is going to go climate neutral to 2050. And they need also to look through the different types of incentives, the regulation and smart regulation to support the new sector to grow. And that we will see, that's my conclusion, that we will see much more of this support from the political leadership in all political parties. And but to succeed really to work on this field, that you need to understand also the Scandinavian model of how you work with investment, and you have the different types of networks. And I know that the American has been very active, and the former ambassador of US, he created a huge network, and what I would like you to look at, the Swedish-American Green Alliance, SAGA, which also give you a very good view of areas, say, green Scandinavia and Sweden in particular, of different new growth opportunities. And then you have organizations like Cleantech Scandinavia, you have supporters of the network of Connect, which is very active in the north of Sweden and Norway. We have also a new organization for innovation offices connected to the universities. We have 11 universities who get support from the government to take care about science and development from the first growth of new solutions. And then, of course, one of the biggest players is the Swedish Energy Agency, because this is a sector that has a key fund to put money into pilot schemes of, particularly in areas of energy efficiency and new renewable energy. And then you have all the business regions in Sweden. You have sustainable business hubs, and which are also new creations that have the focus on sustainability. So